All right. Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Salakian, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And It's a couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp. I'm the brother Korah Abad. And as always, we got the beloved Elder Tazapah as well. And the Wadi Bashim Shai for another opportunity to do what? To come bring forth the news. Which and again, that's the times, man, we in. Everybody want to be newscasters nowadays. Now because things going on, everybody want to speak up, talk about go to the Bible. But the prophets, starting with the apostles, the elders, even the great men before them have been pushing these things, but now we finally see it happening, so we should be excited about it. But before we hop into it, Elder Tazapah, if you have anything, the floor is yours.
Okay, Con. Yeah, I'll bring this out right quick. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right. And these are the times, it looks like that we're coming into this hopeful year of Esau's downfall and Jacob's deliverance. Okay. Before our deliverance, as we went into last week, we're going to have to go through the bitter, the fire, the tribulation. Going into what Acts 14:22, that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So this time of Jacob's trouble is to test our faith. This is why it's referring to Jacob's trouble. The whole world is about to enter into this hour of temptation. All right. But the belief in Yahushua, all right, that's only unto Israel for salvation. All right. The belief or faith in Yahushua for salvation is only to Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So, this is why it's termed here our trouble. But the trouble will befall the world. Okay. And as will the hour of temptation. All right. But Yahushua is our way, the Hebrew Israelites, Jacob, way out. Okay. So we're coming into this time and things about to get hectic. But with the insight of the prophets, great millstone beginning with the apostles and on down, you know, uh, we're here to help you get through it by giving you this light. So you got it out.
Come, that is it. You know, a lot about to change in a short period of time. So with that, we'll hop into it, and Lord willing, this information, this lesson do be edifying. But first thing, again, as we know, hard times are here and hard times are coming, as it says second Ezra the 14th chapter, in the GNT. Matter of fact, I get it real quick. Open up with one. The second Ezra 14 in the GNT real quick.
Okay.
Second Ezra 14, and I get straight to the point. Verse 14 in the GNT, it says, "Put earthly cares away from you, throw down your human burdens." And see, this is important because the beginning of this lesson go into layoffs, hard times, not being able to work, not having money. And that's what these earthly people, that's what they worried about, because they living in the now. They don't have no idea about what we have faith in, man. But the Lord telling us already, look, let those things go. That's why Yahweh Shai said, remember Lot's wife. It says, put earthly cares away from you, throw down your human burdens, and lay aside your weak human nature, and put all your anxieties aside and get ready to leave this world quickly. You have seen many evil things already, but far worse things are about to happen. And as Elder Tazapah was saying, we're in that time that far worse things are here. Again, hard times gonna drive these people to act out. As you know, it's constantly quoted that when, as Gerald Salente said, when people have nothing else to lose, they lose it, which is that's their mind, and that's where we at right now. It says, and as the world grows older and weaker, the evils that will come upon its people will multiply. Um, so if you have anything else, we can hop straight into it.
Okay, go ahead. You
Okay,
good.
kind of. So, these first three articles we not go touch on. We just kind of go highlight them because then we go play this video and Shalom Tala Akim Akwath, who may be tuning in, Yahabashim Shabrakatham, any, apostle or Zaquan, you may be tuning in, Shalom. But these first three articles we won't fully read and everything. All the videos that we go touch on and the articles, they already in the description box for y'all. So if y'all want to follow along. But as you see, it's been a lot of layoffs, not just with the government, federal workers. It's not just them. It's a lot of other industries or businesses that's being affected as well, which that can be a domino effect that can result in other businesses, falling, so to speak. Right. So you got Joann's Fabrics will close 500 stores across the U.S. amid bankruptcy. you know. And I think they said maybe it's like right here it says, so they pretty much about to be done for. It says another one bites the dust. And which again, this is Bible prophecy that it says in the end, well, in this new Egypt, it will be no more work for those people in Egypt. And Lord willing, at the end of this, we'll see why. Like how that was going to play out, no more work not being in Egypt. And now we seeing because that old way of working was going to be done away with. And the people ruling this new Egypt was going to try to go digital, AI system, right? A new way of doing things. You see? Now we seeing how the law of prophecies are playing out. Habakkuk 2 is speaking now. But it says another one bites the dust. Joann's, the prominent fabric and crafts retailer, has announced plans to shutter approximately 500 of its 800 stores across the United States. That's pretty much done for, right? Next one, it says, and all these articles came out within a couple of days ago, like this one, 217. From Natural News, it says Walgreens to close roughly 1,200 underperforming stores. And remember, a lot of people don't want to work, so that they're giving a reason for AI. Another one, it says Forever 21 is on the chopping block with nearly 200 store closures and second bankruptcy. But I'll go ahead and play the vid. Elder Taza, you have anything before I play the vid?
Um, let me read this real quick.
Con.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. All right. And the keepers of the house right now, currently, is Esau Edom. All right, referring to Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. The earth is that house. So Esau is the keeper of the house. They're about to tremble at the wrath of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, as well as the rest of the world. All right. But this facade of them being big and mighty, and putting the world in fear is about to come to an end. They themselves are about to be put in fear and tremble. And so it says, and the strong men shall bow themselves. You can read about that in prophecy in the book of Isaiah, in the book of Jeremiah. The mighty men hearts are going to fail them for fear. And it says, and the grinders cease because they are few. The grinders are the workers. All right. The those who once made the world go around, they're not needed anymore. They got AI and these robots, the robotics. So there'll be no more grinding or grinders. All that's getting ready to cease. All right, because they are few. The jobs are few right now, is what the brother getting ready to go into. All right. It's saying those that look out of the windows be darkened. Right, as Esau's seers. They're not gonna have any answers. And you could check out Project Looking Glass, and it illustrates perfectly just that. All right, this was a program in which they was using. I mean, it might have been a computer or something to get answers and look into the future, and they could only look to a certain point in time, and then they couldn't see any further beyond this certain point. All right. And we know from prophecy that that point is them going down, the return of our Lord Yahweh Shah. They can't, they weren't able to pull or draw any information beyond that point. All right. And so that is what their visions are about to be darkened. And that goes into Isaiah 47. Stand now with thine enchantments. It says, verse 4, and the door shall be shut in the streets. And this is what the brother's about to go into. They're closing the doors in the streets. All right. And a lot of these buildings, if they're not tearing them down, they're just letting them rot, which becomes what? Uh, uh, like basically they bring crime, these vacant, empty buildings. So you can see how it's about to get dark in the world, but especially here in Babylon. So it says, verse 4, all right. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 4, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and shall rise up as the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Right. So, yeah, it's going to, um, you're about to see massive unemployment. This was prophesied. And even you had mentioned, what was that in Isaiah? About no work for Egypt.
Con.
But yeah, and the daughters of music, you can look at the quality of music that's put out here today, all right, as like the Kendrick Lamar, he did the Super Bowl. Everybody love that song. I don't see what's so glorious about it, but yeah, music is trash,
Oh, you
you
really
know,
gonna do it?
and then here pretty soon they won't have anything to sing about. All right. So that was it, brother. You can proceed.
Con. Yeah, we're gonna get that Isaiah 19, especially because you just mentioned it as well. But I'm gonna play a video. The elder in Chicago, I believe his name Bob Ra. He gonna mention in this video. We'll play here soon. But so we can go ahead and play this video again. Just adding on to the point. It's not just that we're just, these stores and businesses so full with employees in America thriving. That's why nobody can't get a job because there's too many people and not enough jobs. That's not the reason. No, it's when they say the scriptures say, see, and this is what the other camps don't get into. When Revelation 13 say he calls of all, it ain't just that you got to get under a guillotine and you got to be forced to take something. No, he building, he causing, he doing things around you to to back you into the corner to make you
Yeah,
want to
put
get done what he doing.
that's
You got
it.
it. You got it.
That's it. No, putting you in the corner. I was agreeing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's literally what we seeing going on in man the Wadi How by Shemal Shah for the eye salve, because every day that there's some new stuff come out is like, man, this could lead to this. And so we watching the story as we in the story, we watching it play out, you know. But
Yeah.
so Esau, it says he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. It's not just that he gotta put a gun to you and say, take the sea up. No, he having jobs go out of business. Trump and Elon and the MAGA slash Doge team is coming in and cutting federal workers who thought they was comfortable, so-called government workers, which they thought they was comfortable. But hey, as the scripture saying, Wisdom of Solomon 18, if a brother know what it's at, it says how the king suffered just like the common person. That's what we about to see. Everybody about to suffer, man. But Esau is causing everybody, he gonna cause everybody to get down with the system. And in Lord willing, this information kind of show that. I'll paint a good picture of it. Right. So this video right here is from this is John Williams. We played him a couple of times on his page, right? Now he gonna go into how the federal workers are being fired, 300,000, close to it, within 7 days. And it's not just that they've been fired, but what this ultimately gonna lead into is that, and again, Esau playing both sides, but they cutting out these federal departments and saying Esau and Trump and the Doge team saying, look, we're making more money since we cutting out departments. Oh my God, we got a bright idea. Let's get this money that we made from cutting out the departments and cutting out, certain, parts of the government. Let's get this money back to the people. And ultimately, we're going to see that could very well lead to a UBI, Universal Basic Income, which is at the doorsteps of a CBDC, which is at the end game of it is a RFID micro C-HIP. Man, it's right there. It's right there. Everything about to move fast. But let's go ahead and play this video just to go into, look, hard times are here. And people about to be begging, man.
275,000 federal workers were fired.
President Trump today doubling down on his move to dramatically and rapidly shrink the federal workforce.
We want to downsize government, but make it better.
That's over 10% of the entire U.S. federal workforce, wiped out in the matter of a few days.
Trump administration's beginning mass layoffs of federal workers impacting multiple agencies.
Thousands of workers who handle everything from managing federal lands to caring for military veterans have been fired.
Many thousands of these workers were given just 30 minutes to pack up and get out.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. Get out of here.
What we're currently witnessing is the biggest government job purge in U.S. history. A whopping 75,000 federal workers took the buyout, which is basically a severance to resign early.
75,000 federal workers accepted President Trump's buyout program, offered more than 2 million federal workers to be paid through September 30th if they resigned by February 6th.
But the real shock, a whopping 200,000 were told to get out with no pay, no warnings, no protections, nothing. Normally, a government job is one of the safest jobs and safest positions that an American can have. But no longer is that the case. These weren't just random layoffs. These were federal employees, people working in critical government agencies, Veteran Affairs, Department of Education's entire divisions getting completely gutted. As that's going on, the White House just announced they are going to fire many thousands of IRS agents right in the middle of tax season.
IRS is preparing to fire potentially 15,000 workers in the middle of tax season.
15,000 employees at the IRS now identified for possible termination.
But the White House will not confirm the exact number of people losing their jobs across entire divisions of government. Meanwhile, government unions are already fighting back.
That's right. They are not going to cast us aside.
Federal workers rallied by the hundreds against President Trump's campaign to slash government programs,
calling it a political purge. But here's the question that no one is asking. Will these job losses even show up on the next unemployment report? Or will these numbers be quietly revised down again? Just like the 1.4 million jobs that quietly disappeared last year. And it's not just the government. The entire job market is collapsing right in front of us. And yet they're telling us it's stronger than ever. Let's take a real look at what's happening and why the numbers simply don't add up. The layoffs are piling up fast. Just in the last 5 days, many of America's biggest companies have issued massive layoffs. Everything from tech to automotive to even banking. Every industry is getting impacted right now. Chevron just announced they are slashing 20% of their global workforce, a whopping 8,000 jobs gone.
Chevron is laying off 15 to 20% of its workforce by the end of next year. That represents up to 8,000 people.
Chevron says the layoffs are needed to reduce costs and raise profits.
This comes after a disastrous year for oil markets, leading to cost cutting at record levels. Meta just laid off 3,600 employees.
Last month, Facebook's parent company said it planned to cut 5% of its workforce.
Meta Platforms is preparing to lay off approximately 3,600 employees.
But here's what's wild. Workers are blaming AI. They say Mark Zuckerberg is replacing real people with automation, while calling his employees low performers. Boeing is cutting hundreds of jobs, and not just any jobs. These layoffs are tied to NASA's Artemis program delays, which means even government-backed tech projects aren't safe from cuts. JP Morgan Chase just officially began job cuts for 2025, and this is just phase one. The bank is letting go of employees across multiple divisions, even as the company posts record profits. And this isn't just tech and banking. Right now, North Texas businesses are seeing a wave of job losses as small businesses struggle to keep up with inflation. You have
now, I want to let him just go, but as he kind of going into, I know a lot of people just been pinpointing that it's been federal workers that's been fired or laid off. But no, it's not just federal workers, but it's also the tech industry. It's not just the tech industry, but the automotive industry. But it's going to trickle down into to different things being affected. And a lot of people being out of jobs, and at the same time, prices going up. But it's going to be a buildup to eventually all hell breaking loose and people at the end. You got anything other times of pie? I'm going to play just a little bit more, and that's it. You on mute. Salaki, you on mute.
My bad.
I didn't even know if you've been talking. I don't know if you've been talking. So Salaki, if you have.
No. I was just saying just now, he made a good point when he said the government job's supposed to be the most secure job, right? The safest job to have. And so that should speak volumes to where we are right now. Because, government jobs did have a sense of security attached to them. But now they're being like the first to get axed. So that's like a trend.
Mm-hmm.
If the safest is gone, what you think gonna happen to, the little guys down the way? Yeah, it's a domino effect about to happen, But yeah, you got it out.
Kind of got it. The brother Yahweh posted it. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18 and verse 11. Now this happened back then in Egypt. When the Lord started judging Egypt, sending those plagues, all those Egyptians, everybody was judged. It ain't matter if you was a low person in society or if you was a king or a tech giant or, a CEO. Everybody about to get judged in the same manner in this time. Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 11. It says, the master and the servant were punished after one manner. And like as the king, so suffered the common person. And that's what the times we in. Everybody about to suffer, man. Everybody about to be in fear. And especially here in America, in Egypt, eventually everything started touching all the Egyptians. That's what we about to see here in America. Ain't nobody about to have, at times in CV-19, certain people wasn't worried about it, or in certain disasters, people wasn't worried about it. Like in North Carolina, where it's flooding in North Carolina, us up here in so-and-so, we ain't got to worry about that. No, everybody about to be affected in this time we coming in, man. Because the system around you about to change. But if you got anything other times of power, well,
no, that was it.
We can continue. I'm gonna let a little bit more play, but then we'll go into, just kind of showing, look, a lot of people are suffering, a lot of people are complaining. People at their wit's end, and according to prophecy, when it's that time, that's when the people go say, look, enough is enough.
Rising cost and declining consumer demand. But that's not all. Retail is collapsing in front of us all across America. Many thousands of stores, both mid-size and
look, a reason for this is because, and see, I see a brother put it, how Esau, a cunning hunter. Is more than one way than just shooting a deer, that he's a cunning hunter. He planned all this out around us. I'm gonna read it real quick. Genesis 25 and 27. And the boys grew, and Esau which is the so-called white man, was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. But Esau, he wise in his wickedness. Remember, he the reason Eve went off. He the reason the world is like it is. So now that we at the end, let's see what he go pull out all the trick plays. But what he did is that he set up a way that you could start to order stuff on your phone that you don't have to go in the store. Now it's to the point that now nobody going in the stores. Well, I guess we got to close the stores. I guess we got to close the stores, and they're gonna also use that as an excuse. Now people don't want to work because everybody want to. And he feeds certain industries so people could do that, so he could take away from another. If a brother want to put when he do it good, he do it unwillingly. Now he been feeding a lot of these people in the tech industry, giving them millions of dollars and six-figure, salaries, and and these content creators. Now he's taking those jobs away. Those things are going away. You see, and also people was doing things on the internet, ordering on the internet. So now the brick and mortar stores, the malls, they going out of business now. So now that you dialed into the internet itself, because you've been ordering things on the internet, now he can control you better. He can control you better. No more dollars you can spend, no more coins. You're fully digital now.
Yeah, but COVID was instrumental in bringing this shit about. You know, whereas it was always, you know, online shopping, but during COVID, that was pretty much the only way to go. You know, with a few exceptions, but that was pretty much the only way to go. So, and even with the work and the government, federal employees, they was working from home, and so they was like, you know, well, shit, what's the point in going back? I can do my work from home. What's the point in going back?
Mm-hmm.
And so, Gerald Salente points this out, by the way. You got all of these empty office buildings in New York, you know, and this is why Trump was pushing for them to go back to work. Trump being a real estate man, you know, he wants the people to get back in the buildings, but it ain't, you know, they're not needed anymore. Bottom line. So, but yeah, man, COVID fueled a lot of this. That's that incrementalism. But that was it.
Kind of, yeah, COVID gave way, opened the door for the digital system, you know.
And we said that though. We said that from the jump. It ain't nothing new with us. But yeah, we just looking at how it's all coming together and how you know, the things that the Lord showed us and told us, you know, are coming true.
I'll read this real quick and we can move on. This the brother Yahweh, the Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 14:7. And if he, and when you read, you know, this chapter in this context is going into the wicked. It says, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwittingly. And this is an important verse to keep in mind going into the rest of this information, these articles and videos. You know, because everything that Esau about to do, he's not really doing it because to help the people. That's not the reason he's doing it. You see? So UBI or the money that we got back from shutting down certain departments of the government, we want to give it back to the people. That's not really why he want to give it back to you, just because he wants you to be happy. No, he want to set up a system around you and you falling into it. Again, he's a cunning hunter, it says, and at the last, and we at the last of him, he will declare his wickedness. And now we're about to see the horns, not the lamb no more. So I'll play just a little bit more of this video. Matter of fact, I'll skip it. It's in the description box. And I'm gonna just kind of go through it. You see, it's not just, but it's retail, auto, a lot of places being affected, big lots. I'm just looking through it.
And they will continue to invest in their operations, their shipping, their distribution, their infrastructure, in AI. I mean, you look at all the big tech companies, they're spending over $200 billion this year just in AI and robotics.
Now, see, I think I skipped something, but we're going to continue. Again, it's in the description box. But what it was going into, even these jobs going to lead to AI coming in.
You think
you see it say AI race, that second address 15, they racing.
How big of a number that is. We have JP Morgan.
So anyway, we're going to move on. So the next thing, it's not just that the average worker being affected, but the farmers are being affected. And all this is part of this mass. We're going to, Lord willing, we get second address 15 here in a few. But it say that when the Lord started judging this new Egypt, he was going to judge the farmers. The farmers was going to be judged. It says that that was going to be the same time they was going to start to go to war with each other. There was going to be a lot of political confusion. And also there was going to be racing to overcome one another and forget the old way of doing things in the government. We seeing all this literally play out as we speak. So right here it says, now this is from a, baller alert. For the melanin community out there, baller alert shade room on Instagram. right? But it was
Oh shit.
what'd you say?
No, you good.
God, it says formers for Trump. Trump administration. So see, it's not just the cuts that he doing in the federal government, but it's not just affecting those who work there, but those who also are endorsed maybe or getting grants from the government or getting aid from the government. They are also affected. So that's how these formers are now complaining because they put money in to this certain grant, and now that it's cut, they can't get nothing from it. Now they just ASS out, just they done, they through. So now they crying. So it says Trump administration freezes USDA funding, leaving farmers in crisis. And again, the farmers, the reason that products get in stores. Let's hear it a little bit.
We're here because the USDA has contracts with us. We have contracts to install solar panels on our farm, and we are now told that the funding is frozen and that there's no sign of it being released. So unfortunately, our farm is already in contract with the solar company and is put out to money. This kind of USDA grant, the way that it works is farmers have to put out all of the money for the whole project and then be reimbursed for that money. But the way that it's looking right now, it's really scary. We don't know if the USDA is going to fulfill that contract. We have been calling our representatives in the Senate and the House every single day, not getting any answers. I was assigned a caseworker, hasn't gotten back to me at all about anything. So I'm just feeling like we don't really know who to turn to, and all we can do is like come here in person and try to explain why we're so scared. This is about farmers who were promised money for different things, infrastructure costs, technical assistance.
So look, there was promised money for different things. Now they can't get it. Again, everybody being forced out. It's not just starting out with the farmers. Remember, Bill Gates been buying up land. The farmers been had to get down with the system and kind of, harvest certain ways according to the government. Now they seeing, now Esau really showing them, look, this what it is.
Fencing, irrigation, and farmers are now getting that money. So that's really a problem that the U.S. government is not fulfilling the promises that they made, which puts all farmers in dire financial situations.
Oh, poor thing. Poor thing. You got anything on the Taza? I just play a quick, just reaction from people, common Americans, just going into the hard times. But the point is, what, according to prophecy, what will this lead to though? People when they have nothing else to lose, they're gonna lose it. We at that point. Like what else can happen? We at that point. You got it on the Taza?
No, I ain't got nothing.
Okay, kind of, I'm gonna play a little bit of this. So this from a D's African perspective. You could just type out, I was kind of tapped into my the Manatazak bag today, just kind of typing in different things, but on YouTube and just going into how the working class are tired, they broke, they complaining. It's compilations of just people, they had enough. They had enough. So let's play a little bit. And this one, it says, so the first one we're going to play, we ain't going to play the whole thing, just a couple clips. The first one, it says, the working class are broke and tired. Wages remain low. And the second one, we're going to play a couple clips of it, says, the cost of survival in 2025, death of the American dream.
There is no job in this country that can justify paying you less than $20 an hour. It is 2025. I don't care what city you live in. I don't care what state you live in. I don't care what your work experience is. Less than $20 an hour is totally unacceptable. And quite frankly, for a lot of these Fortune 500 companies that are making ungodly amounts of money, it's blatantly disrespectful.
And see, that's the good point. I'm a skip. I just wanted him to say that. I'm gonna skip this because after this, he go kind of just go on this, his little, rant. But that's another thing people are seeing right now. And if a brother want to post it in Job 20, how it says that the wicked, Imal, the common worker, they eventually gonna revolt at the time that the elites think they about to fulfill their NWO. Everybody who complaining, they're not complaining about the co-worker on side of them. The average person in traffic no more. The complaints are going towards the CEOs, the elites, the Fortune 500 companies, those who rule and those who calling the shots. And that's another thing that we can kind of see. According to prophecy, now the people are getting fed up against the people who running things, man.
Do you know how hard?
Let me skip it.
Like the profits those companies are making, it hurts. Like you be like, you can afford business. Button it helps. Cool, a car, cool, at all. I work so. We're gonna be checking out this video, but before we do, please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate that so much. Let's get right into this video. I'm just tired of living in circles. Like, I work so much, and I have nothing to show for it. Like, nothing at all. Nothing. An apartment, cool. A car, cool. You know, the little stuff, okay, cool. But, like, I have nothing to show for it. I'm about to be 23 this year, and I don't have a career. Like, I try not to question God, and I move off faith, but it's like you really run out of faith. It comes to a point where you really run out of faith. Because it's like, what is my purpose? What am I here for? I'm tired of going to work every day, slaving, to not have nothing, to not have absolutely nothing. A car, cool. A house, cool. What else? Like, I have absolutely nothing, and it's so frustrating, so aggravating.
I don't understand how up America gotta be for you to work hard and still have nowhere to go. It's just like, oh my gosh, when is it all going to end? Like, y'all, it's so bad to the point where even though you work, you more than likely can't even eat every day. Not even 3 times a day. Me, none. Yet they expect us to keep working with a smile on our face. All of that. I be seeing why people don't want to work. They pay us a little bit of money, but make everything expensive. I'll be damned if I'm putting my life on the line.
It's like it. And mind you, if this average, everyday, common Israelite right here, this girl right here, this little girl right here, if she see what's going on, how much more the Israelite adult, the everyday, the red-blooded Americans that you don't think they see what's going on and people at their wits end, if she get it?
For $14, $15. And then the whole time, you can get hurt or die at the job you're at. So now you done fucking wasted your whole life being a hard worker to a company that don't give a about what you got going on. Don't give a that you don't have nowhere to go. Just don't give a goddamn. And certain people will never understand the frustration. You guys will never understand unless you're going through it. There is no reason why hard workers can't afford to eat, can't afford to live, can't afford to pay rent. It is so much. And I just wanted to let everybody out there know, okay? If you are deciding to bring it to America, hold on, y'all. Stay the over there. Do not come over here. Please. I beg of you. This shit sucks. All prayers to all my Americans, all my USA motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, my cousins, all that. We got to figure something out because this ain't going to work for me.
I make $18 an hour. I make $18 an hour and I cannot pay my rent. I make $18 an hour and I'm in credit card debt. Okay? I make $18 an hour. I have no car. I make $18 an hour. I don't even have health insurance, dental insurance. I don't have vision insurance. Like, if these glasses break, I make $18 an hour, working about 30, 40 hours a week. Okay? I bring home $2,100 about a month. $2,200. Listen. You don't want to raise the minimum federal wage for $7.25 hours. No one is living on that. No one. Not one fucking soul. No matter if you're working 60 hours in a week, 2 fucking jobs. I've been working 2 jobs since I was 16, bro. America. Bro.
If the price of shit don't go down, I'm about to start stealing again. I'm good. I said I was leaving that shit in 2022.
I'm going to play the next one. She going to start stealing again.
No longer calling it the cost of living. I'm calling it the cost of surviving, because when the average person has to decide between buying groceries or paying their rent.
Now, that's called the cost of survival in 2025. Death of the American dream. Matter of fact, let me skip past him. You got it. You got it. You got it.
Real quick. Yeah, death of American dream. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. We coming to that point, but right now, yes, everything that they're talking about is by design. America is systematically this city of confusion, that's Babylon. Babylon come from the Hebrew root babal, which means confusion or dust. All right, that's America. It should be evident at this point, but yes, the city of confusion is America, and America is systematically being broken down. Okay, and the people are feeling it. All right, now I notice there's a lot of women, and I see you had one guy up there, but I noticed there's a lot of women, and we told y'all, Isaiah 32:9, that many days and years, the scriptures say, the Heavenly Father said, many days and years that ye careless daughters would be troubled.
I told y'all niggas. I told y'all niggas.
See, and for shit like that, y'all won't have any mercy. What's about to come, you know, is brutal and harsh and cruel, but it is just, and you women ain't gonna have any mercy. This, yeah, but yeah, I mean, why they really upset is because they the American, yeah, just that the American dream failed them. They put their faith in man, and so this is why they're so emotional. They believe, you know, that I was told if I work hard and you know do this, that, and the third, I would make it in America. Yeah, but you see, it's a lie. You know, same shit that we as men deal with. When the economy is up, when the economy is down. Right now, this shit don't make a difference to me. This has been my whole fucking life. It's been struggle. So, you know, I'm right at home. I'm in the pocket. Like Drew Brees, I'm in the pocket.
God.
You know, because I mean, I'm just so used to. I just before the COVID was making 18 and took care of my family. This was, you know, I had to get the OT to do it, but I didn't do a video breaking down, crying. I paid my rent and got grown. I didn't have no assistance. I did it. You know, this is what men do. This is the shit we go unsung for, that y'all don't understand, and y'all see us and think you could be us, speaking about you women, but y'all could never be us.
Mm-hmm.
We were built for this.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are not built for this.
Mm-hmm.
And if y'all would get in your feminine abilities and get you a man and be feminine to that man and caring to that man, you wouldn't be out here making videos crying and all that shit either. You know, but it is what it is. They believed in this shit. A lot of this shit go back to feminism, and it's like I said on my video earlier this week. Capitalism is really what destroyed. Is what's systematically right now destroying America. It's always been capitalism at the root of all. The Lord said it in the scriptures. For the love of money is the root of all evil. And the reason Babylon's evil tentacles have gone all through the world and corrupted the kings of the earth who have lived deliciously with her, America, is because of capitalism and them, you know, would agree. But through that capitalism, America's wickedness, you know, through those tentacles has polluted the entire world, you know. And this is why a lot of people out here are disheartened and disillusioned. You could go crazy being disillusioned.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'll bug you out. Because you see the world as one thing, and then bam, they take away your illusion, and you see reality. That's what Neo bugged out. They showed you that in the Matrix. You know, you could bug out. So a lot of people, you're gonna see bug outs, even more bug outs. Because the world that they thought and believed, you know, was the real deal, they seeing there, it ain't what it is. While me and you been going through it this whole time, getting called dusty and this and that, but we've been going through it. And so we just strolling through this shit now. So-called halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You know, coming up the rough way, yeah. It's when and they crying, but they really, that's what you're supposed to be. I got singing Ezra 16 and 40 on deck.
You got it.
DES pilgrims.
Yes, the spirit.
That's the way you're supposed to be right now. But they crying about it because they've been disillusioned and are now disheartened. But yeah, man, go ahead, bro.
Now you got it. I'll read it for you. Second Ezra 16 and 40 says, "Oh my people."
Go to 39 though.
Second Ezra 16 and 39 it says, "Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side."
This is what we are. The mourning and sorrows have begun. All right, and it ain't even got bad. Like Matthew 24. This is the beginning of sorrows. You know, we at the this the pregame show. It ain't got turned up yet.
The prelims of Jacob's trouble.
Yep. We in the prelims. But go ahead,
Yep. Second Ezra 16 and verse, I read 39 again. It says, "Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. And O my people, hear my word, and make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth."
See, we're in these evils. Again, we're at the beginning of them, but shit, we see it. I say we're in it because when you can see it, shit, it's here to me. For some people, they may have to actually be in it, but for me, it's here. You know, and I'm not. Days of Noah made a good point, and I didn't want to speak on it because I can't quote it exactly. But he was speaking on Doge and how they was a big distraction on this digital lockdown that's being put in place. You know, and they, like you about to go into, and you touched on it, giving this money out, that's going to get them in the door with the people, get them in good standings with the people, you know, and the whole time they steady building this prison around us, you know, and there's a lot of policies going on, a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes that are really being outshined by Doge. But yeah, we in these evils. And shit, if you ain't got nothing, you'll be better if you learn how to you know, how to make it. As is, I'm saying, don't worry about trying to get the house and the car. Just worry about getting your daily bread. Because pretty soon we are about to be homeless. Unless you're going to live in a 15 minute. You can go in, you can check in, but you're not going to check out. The scripture bear record to that. These are open air prisons, penitentiaries, whatever you want to call them, high-tech projects. That's kind of cool, high-tech project.
God.
But that's what's coming. So yeah, I wouldn't put my energy in trying to get this and get that. I put my energy in just get some survival skills. But yeah, brothers, I'm just, kind of thinking out loud. You got it.
That's it. And so this next little reaction video we not gonna play because again, we about to see more and hear more of American tears and they cries, which they ain't got nothing to do with us, So we've been signing crying the whole time. Nobody wanted to take heed. So now that they crying, hey, it is what
Yeah,
it is. Hey, the
yeah,
scripture
that's
said,
it.
mm-hmm.
That's it, Doc. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yo, I'm sure he probably passed by a camp before. Now he crying. Don't cry now. Who else? Don't cry now. Well, yeah, everybody going through it. It's hard times. This nigga. I'm sure he probably went to a camp before. But anyway, now as the Lord said, when we had a time when we was gonna sorrow and go through it, and the world was gonna rejoice. But the time was gonna come when that we was gonna start to rejoice, and the world was gonna sorrow. That's the
Man, you so right, Doc. Yeah, you so right. And for the record, I ain't making 18 no more. I'm making well over that. But hey, it is what it is. Pretty soon we all gonna be on the same level. But yeah, brother, that's a good point.
Kinda. So this next video, I'm gonna play a little bit. Now this from the elder, I believe his name Ba in Chicago. A little bit. Then I want to get into this information with this digital system. Know how with Trump, him getting money back gonna lead to or could lead to, a UBI, a universal basic income, which is right at the doors of a CBDC, which if the CBDC is the door, then at the threshold is the MOTB. We right there, like we right here. That's it. That's it. We right here. So it's some exciting info. And remember the scripture: if Esau do good, he doing it unwillingly. He ain't trying to get his money back just cause. So I'm gonna play this quick little vid, and then we're gonna go into this digital information.
Shalom. Welcome back. First and foremost, we want to give all glory, praises, and honors to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. We want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to Yakim.
And that we are heading
To be it.
I want people to understand that we are heading into a situation or an economy that is going to be worse than the Great Depression. Along with laying off federal employees, they are also laying off federal contractors. So whenever you see the federal employee number, times by 2 of contractors that work for the federal government as well that are also losing their jobs. I honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that this is going to be the biggest layoff by an employer in our entire history. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is going to be one of the biggest layoffs ever to occur. If private industry can see that they can get away with doing this in the federal government, this is going to happen in the private sector as well. There are going to be so many people without jobs, and there are going to be no jobs for anyone. And this is where AI comes in.
Boom. This is where AI comes in. I'm and the elder about to bring out a precept. I'm gonna let him play it. I'm gonna fast forward. You got it, Elder Paul?
No, you good. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna let him because he gonna bring out that precept in Isaiah 19, how it's gonna be no more work for Egypt. So again, what we seeing, the job layoff, this is Bible prophecy, man. Be confident in the Lord's word is happening in our face.
So what she says is mirroring what Bible prophecy. That's why I'm bringing out that point. I'm bringing out some of the points in this video. I'm gonna grab this in Isaiah 19:14. It says, "The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do." So then when you go through these scriptures, it's twofold. But we know America, it's known as Babylon, is also known as spiritual Egypt. It's a time coming where mass layoffs is going to be a reality. She's just talking about it now with the federal government, but she made the point as if the federal government is doing the non-people working for federal government jobs, they can be laid off too, because everything is moving towards automation and everything is moving towards AI, which is going to replace a lot of jobs anyway, man. So there's a big shift coming, man. There's a huge shift coming, and it's getting ready to upend a lot of things in the society. This is Jeremiah 50. All right.
This is so bad, y'all. I don't even know what to say because so many people are going to lose their livelihoods. And with all of these jobs being lost, this is going to impact financial institutions. This is going to impact restaurants. This is going to impact clothing stores. Everybody is going to be impacted by this.
Because America is what? A consumer-based economy. It's all based on you buying, purchasing. All right.
Capitalism. Yep. I say capitalism. You got it.
God, that's it.
And Trump he's trying to basically, he's doing the thing with the tariffs. He's doing the things with layoffs. He's trying to get industry to come back to America so they can become, I forgot the word I'm looking for. Well, they want to become a producer, instead of a consumer.
But I'm gonna throw this one in the chat too, and we're gonna move on in the next segment because of all what we're seeing now with the job layoffs, the people having hard times. What is this gonna lead to? A digital system, lockdowns, the C help. So, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna get a quick precept advertiser pop. You don't mind?
He made a good point too. Some of those industries will come back. I see them turning the U.S. into pretty much like a big ass labor camp. Because they're gonna do something with that lithium in Carolina. Was it North Carolina, where they had that the hurricane and all of that, and they flooded them people out for the lithium. They're gonna mine that, and they might start back drilling. You gonna see some industries come back, in my opinion, but it'll be for slave labor. So we'll just have to see how they gonna do it. But yeah, I see them making America a big ass prison camp, and they gonna work the shit out of everybody. But we'll see how it go.
I'll get this real quick. Just to show everything we just kind of touched on, the jobs, the people being fed up, the farmers complaining, that's going to lead into, and the government's going at it, as we about to touch on, that's going to lead to full-blown Jacob's trouble, man, in the digital system. You got it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I did something just hit me. Finish
No,
up.
you got it.
No, Apostle Ramlov last week mentioned Elysium. And remember down down on the earth, they were slaves being with task who had robots as taskmasters over them. And the folks was up in they, as Esau, they set that nest among the stars. But yeah, they were literally the working or the slave class down on the earth, and they were being supervised by AI robots.
God, Elder Yagada, he said, people will be desperate for jobs and beg for some slave jobs.
Well, remember in Palisades, the fire and all that, they put them prisoners out there for $1 a day. Not even an hour. I believe it was a day.
Oh, you talking about those prisoners?
Right, the prisoners.
God.
Yeah. To go fight that fire and shit. So I see this is where they taking, America.
You had anything else?
No, you got it.
Okay, Con. So seeing again, going back to the point, Revelation 13, he calls of all. That's just not at one moment, at one time, and one day at 7 p.m. That's your hour. No, Esau, he's preparing the hour. Look, I know the scriptures say an hour of temptation. Now that's when every man be tempted in Jacob's trouble. When if you gonna bow down and give up or not and go take the sea help. But the thing is, that's not just a specific hour as if like a doctor's appointment. Your mine at 5 p.m. on this day, yours at 3 p.m. on that day. Right? No, it's the point is he's setting up the whole system around you to cause you to beg him for help. That's what it is. That's what it is. So going through all that is what we went through. Why is jobs being taken away? Why is stores closing? Yeah, we know it's for AI, and that's a big part of it because the infrastructure has to change. It is for AI, but also now it's gonna make way for Esau to, since we have to bring in this digital system, we could take away jobs and begin to bring in this, of course, through times being made hard, bringing a UBI. Right, a universal basic income, which will lead to CBDC. All this is gradualism for the market of the beast, man. It's gradualism to it. But he's gonna start with this. And remember, everything will happen for no reason. They had Trump come in and through the CV time and give a stimulus and had Americans excited. That was just a test run to see how you accepted the stimulus, man. And that was it. That was a test run. They loved it. They willing to bow down. You got it.
Nope. I was agreeing with you. Come on.
They said, look, if we give them a little money, they'll say, okay. Matter of fact, we got votes just because we gave a stimulus check. Well, now they was crying about that we took away government jobs and we breaking down the government. So let's entreat them with a little money. Let's tell them, look, this money was for you. And I don't know. This is a side note. This is a joke, a little delve moment. If y'all seen a dude, Adrian Ratliff on YouTube, OCDA, he a comedian. He going to jobs and he trying to act like he speak for black people, but they'll kick him out. He be like, man, I'm trying to be here for y'all. I'm doing this for y'all. I'm here for y'all. Right? That's Esau. He trying to make it seem like I'm doing this for you, but no, really, he making.
I ain't seen him.
What'd you say?
I ain't seen him.
Yeah, he a comedian. Is a dude from Atlanta, I believe, but his character is Adrian Ratliff, and he just he going to random jobs. Is his company called OCDA, kind of like OSHA, right? And he just like people give real complaints because it's a real company and these are real complaints. But he didn't go to the job and just cuss him out anyway. Esau making it seem like he doing this for you though, but he not. So in him seeming like, look, I'm cutting all the government spending down. I'm cutting off unneeded departments and all this money going back to you. So the American people gonna say, oh, okay, that's cool. So at the same time, what he doing, when you look up and after you get your little stimulus, ain't no more government no more. Ain't no more legislation. Ain't no more constitution. No, it's now you said you was good with the money, right? That's what's happening. Yep. That's what's happening. You got advertising power.
Yeah, you had mentioned Esau was a cunning hunter earlier, and that's what he's doing right now. All right, it's Psalm 64 and verse 5. Verse 4. Psalm 64 verse 4. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. All right, all these Skylord weapons, and they got silent weapons for quiet war so they can shoot at you in secret. They got the blue lights on your TV screen, your computer screen, your phone screens. They say that has a lot to do with the obesity pandemic. Is the blue light toxicity. It's fucking you up. The blue light, it messes us up, But yeah, all of this is them shooting at us privately. All right. And I ain't even scratch the tip of the iceberg. I just threw out a few examples, but they shooting at us constantly. You got the smart meters giving off dangerous levels of radiation, and every home has them. All right. You name it. But yeah, it says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. The perfect are the saints. All right. You don't know who the saints are? Go to Psalm 148, verse 14. It tells you who are the saints. The saints, in short, are the Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, predominantly. But whoever you may be and wherever you may find yourself, having the ears to hear this truth, that's because the Spirit is bearing witness with your spirit that you are, you know, akin to this word. You know, so whether you gonna get delivered or not, that don't say that, but you know, you got a chance at being delivered if you have the ears to hear this word. So we are the perfect, and they're shooting at us constantly. It says, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They don't even have no fear. All right. King David wouldn't even touch King Saul because he feared. And here these low life, no good for nothing, filthy, nasty, just evil and despicable people. And they ain't scared to touch the perfect. You see? But they got to be stopped. These people got to be stopped. They have no fear, no reverence, no regard for anything, none of the Most High's creation. So it says, verse 5, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? All right. Snares are what hunters set. So he has his sights set on us, and he's been shooting. And if it had not been for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, who was on our side, man, you know, we'd have been in a bad case. But yeah, loosely paraphrasing the scripture, but you got it out.
Now that's it. So again, all these articles and videos we're gonna touch on is in the chat. So you know, we ain't gonna read the whole thing. Now, getting to the point, seeing jobs being taken away, people are suffering. That's all being caused by Esau to change the infrastructure around the people, man. You know, now again, as we know, you have the AI summit that just passed, the World Global Summit that just passed, the Davos meeting that just passed, and the spirit is the intelligent age. All governments need to go digital. Now I'm gonna jump down. This is the point: is that it's time. Esau know he got to move at a fast pace. Real quick, I'm gonna get what Klaus Schwab said. Let's see. Now this in the chat, so I ain't gonna get everything. So this is what he said. It says, similar to the transition from the agricultural age to the industrial age, we are now moving from the industrial age to the intelligent age. But there is one big difference compared to the first transition. Check this out. Where we had several generations to adapt. See, back then we had time to do things. Generations to adapt. It says now this transition is happening at an exponential speed. Exponential, becoming more and more rapid speed. He know Revelation 12. If a brother want to throw that, he know that he have but a short time. I'm gonna jump down now. Again, he's speaking. You can click on this article. It's in the chat, right? It says this is what he said. We are living in a transition to a new time where it says which will change everything, said Schwab, adding it will change how we communicate, how we work, and how we live. It says for the 86-year-old unelected globalist, just kind of like Elon Musk, it says governments, this is what he said, governments have to be enablers. What do enablers mean? A person or thing that makes something possible. So this is why Trump and Elon in the position they're in. They the ones who gonna make this digital system possible for America. And all the other government leaders, they're the ones who gonna make it possible for their country. It says, so this is what Klaus Schwab said. For the 86-year-old unelected globalist, he said governments have to be enablers of change at what? At lightning speed. And come on, man.
That's why they penetrated the cabinets. Right. This has all been in the making for decades. But yeah, you got it.
Yep. And if shit, if y'all tune into the lessons, we played that many times with other times I just quoted. Klaus Schwab, by his own mouth, said at one World Economic Forum, I think in like 2016, 17, he said, yeah, our job is to penetrate cabinets. He said to get global leaders on our side. He said people like Angela Merkel. He said people like Vladimir Putin, he said they've been young global leaders. They came up as young global leaders and they've been in our forum. So they already get it. Putin is bought and paid for too. Although he seemed big and bad and tough and bricks and he going against America and no, he going alone. Everything
Esau understands the dynamics of power. All right. And me coming from a background of electrical, you got to have two poles. All right. Esau understands that. So this is why he controls both sides. So he can, if he, anything one-sided is not going to work. That's why our relationships in the West don't work, because you got two heads. That's one-sided. But that was the point, brother. You got it.
So this is what he said. Governments have to be enablers of change at lightning speed, and they have particularly to cooperate with business, because this transition into the new intelligent age will only be mastered if all stakeholders, people who put their money in, stakeholders of global society work together. Everybody got to be on the same point. Now, that rolls right into, this was put out a few days ago on the 17th of February from Natural News. I'm not going to hit the whole thing, it's in the description. But you have Larry Ellison, who's in Trump cabinet as well. He's part of building the digital infrastructure in America, right? Now, this would just came out. It says, not just came out, but like a week ago. It says the rise of digital authoritarianism. Larry Ellison wants everyone's data. That sounds like cause of all.
Right. Yep, you got it.
Yep, it said, remember when Trump got in office, he had them three tech giants. You had the Moabite guy, and you had Sam Altman from OpenAI, and you had Larry Ellison, a tall guy, right? Who looked like he got the Botox in his face. Him. This the plans. This is what he just said at the World Government Summit. It says Larry Ellison wants everyone's data and DNA plugged into AI data centers to guide our behaviors. Now, why is this important before we get to this UBI information? Because before they could bring forth the UBI, they need strings attached. They go tell you it's not no strings attached to it, but the string attached to it is you have to get down with the digital system really in order to get it. That's the curveball. You can get it. It is free. We'll give it to you every month, but you got to sign up with, you got to make this account, digital ID. So again, people losing all their jobs. It ain't nothing for people to sign up for, a little offer. And that's what we saying. That's why, we want to hit this first before we get into a UBI, because before the UBI, a universal basic income, can work, the people got to be at their knees first. The people got to be at their knees first and be in want first. And according to the government, everybody need to be on the same page first. Then we can roll this forward. All we showing through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai is, look, this is what's coming. See, we know what's happening. I'm not just men at the times of power, but, the apostles, brothers, y'all in the know. We know these things are happening before it get mandated. Like, that's what we paying attention to, before it get mandated. Everybody else will just know about it when it get mandated. That's it. So it says real quick, it says, I'm going to read just a quick excerpt of it. I'm going to jump down, if I remember where it's at. So it says, I'll start from the top. It says, Oracle's billionaire founder envisions a future where every aspect of human life is monitored, analyzed, and controlled by artificial intelligence, or Allen Iverson, AI. It says down to our DNA. Now, in order for them to link it to your DNA. What that mean? They have to have technology in you then. Like,
Gotta be in you.
see, Esau ain't gonna say that. He ain't gonna say that. But if he talking about that, how can your DNA be linked to AI? The technology of AI have to be in you, and the little Wi-Fi connection, I guess, gonna Bluetooth and connect it.
And we touched on it last week. We went into it last week. Shit, we didn't just touch on it. We went into it in depth last week. He said it has to be in you. You know, and Larry Ellison said, and we went the route of medicine because medicine touches everyone.
That's right.
You know, and then he backed out and said, you know, it's important that we are able to touch everyone. So yeah, they saying it. If you're listening, like you brought out, this is the part they don't put in the mainstream because they gave you the edited version. But then if you watch the whole clip, they saying it. You know, it has to be in you, and that's where we are. You know, but go ahead, brother.
Man, that's it. It says critics warn this is less about improving lives and more about consolidating power in the hands of tech elite. Now, the key points, I'm gonna just read some key points. I forget the exact, point I wanted to hit, but again, is some good stuff in here. It says Larry Ellison, Oracle's founder and CTO, proposes unifying all American data, including DNA, into AI data centers to improve lives through predictive analytics and surveillance. Ellison's vision includes constant monitoring of citizens from schools to bathrooms. Come on, man. With AI ensuring best behavior through omnipresent surveillance. Ephesians, the 2nd chapter, he want to be like the Most High. And what this also saying in current times, what this mean? Social credit score. And another thing they can tie the UBI to, now that people about to start suffering, they can tie how much you get from the UBI, whether we give you $5,000 a month. If you are a perfect person in society, you don't got nothing to say bad about the government, and you doing everything you got to do, and you shutting up and just getting by, and you already got the MOTB, we're gonna give you $5,000 a month. But if you ain't do the login yet, you ain't got the MOTB. I'm just kind of being, extrapolating. But as it go into levels, if you ain't going a certain level, you might not get the max payout. It's incentives, man. That's how Esau gonna do it. Look, just like right here, incentives. It says
And the shaming. That was the model in China. They want to model after China. So, they do the shaming, putting your face, oh, he ate too much tacos this Tuesday. That type of stuff. But go ahead.
Yep. I'll read these last 2 bullet points and we can move on. It says, these authoritarian plans will lead to dangerous consolidation of power with AI acting as an immortal dictator that could erode privacy, freedom, and democracy. The U.S. government and global leaders, we got to read that one more time. The U.S. government and global leaders, he calls of all. Revelation 13:10 says, the hour of temptation that shall come upon all the world. So no matter what these people come in and say, like Trump could say, yeah, we doing the digital AI, but it's not going to be a CBDC. No, you have to. Because prophecies say you got to. Prophecies say you got to go this way. That's the beauty of knowing the Lord's word, man. The Lord will. We know you have to do this, man. It says the U.S. government and global leaders are already investing billions in AI infrastructure, raising concerns about unchecked surveillance and the rise of digital authoritarianism.
And remember what you went into? It had to have been 2 weeks ago that when Trump got elected, the stock shot and investors were emboldened something, but you might remember better than me, but when Trump got elected, stocks went up because all these people are, like you just read, they've invested billions into this AI infrastructure. And they know Trump was the one appointed to get it popping. It ain't that Biden was set to do what he did. And so they was told, all right, we gonna wait till Trump get in office, and then we gonna move. And then that's when you seen the money begin to move. So yeah, now the money is moving now to this AI thing. So you're gonna see this being pushed hard. All right. Two women with TD Bank. All right, TD Bank said that they got, was it emails or texts, but they received messages from the bank telling them that the bank is going fully digital. And so one of the chicks said she called because she trying to find out what that means, and said nobody knew what it meant, or at least they didn't want to tell her. And so ultimately the letter said she would have to come into compliance by April, sometime in April, or lose whatever money she had in there. They would just shut down the account. So this has already begun. Now, mind you, this is TikTok, so take that with a grain of salt. But it ties in with everything that's going on. So yeah, brother, go ahead.
Now I'm gonna just back up what you said with something Klaus Schwab said, and we can play this video, and that's pretty much it. We got like 2 videos, and that'll be pretty much it. So what you said is that people got money invested in this, and not just that money is invested, not just see the elites know not just that money is invested, but the livelihood of them ruling, everything they know is invested in this. The plans of the forefathers that's been passed down from ages and ages and ages is invested in the last ruling Edomites now executing the final plans. A lot of pressures on Esau right now. But the point the elder said, they got money on this, so they ain't waiting on nobody. But this is what Klaus Schwab said. For the 86-year-old unelected globalist, that's what he said. He said governments have to be enablers of change at lightning speed. And they have particularly to cooperate with business. You have to get along. It says because this transition into the new intelligent age will only be mastered if all stakeholders, that's the key word, it says stakeholders, quick Google, an independent party with whom each of those who make a wager deposits the money or accounted wager, it says a person's with an interest or concern in something, especially a business.
Yep. They got like when you say you got something at stake. So right, they're invested into it. Right. They have an interest in it. So yeah, the kings of the earth have lived deliciously with her. They have a stake in her. But yeah, go ahead, right?
That's it. It says because this transition into the new intelligent age will only be mastered if all stakeholders of global society work together. Pressure on Esau, not us. So let's play this quick vid. Now, this is another article we had just to show before the UBI can come, they need people at their knees. For an example, we ain't gonna get the account, but remember our forefather Joseph in Egypt. The people was willing to give away their cattle, their land, and eventually themselves as slaves because because the money failed. Like we seeing now, the money is failing. Hard times are coming. So the people gonna be willing to give up freedoms to get government assistance. But now it's gonna be digital assistance. It got stipulations behind it now. We'll help you, but now you gotta go digital. Now, real quick, it says this was put out today. It says from Natural News, the path to digital ID mandates, and that's the word we've been looking for, mandates. It says how social media regulation could reshape online privacy. Now, it was going into social media, but this is what I want to jump to the bottom, and we can play the last videos and we can end it. So check this out. It says the broader implications of digital expansion, and that's what we always got to look for. Go when you read a article at Esau wrote it, go straight to the bottom, because the beginning of it, he gonna give you some fluff, some BS. The good stuff at the bottom, right? So they just
Yep.
Yep, it ain't just online YouTube, because when it goes into eventually those underage, under 18, gonna have to have an ID to get on apps. But this is the point we looking for. It says the broader implications of digital ID expansion is bigger than just that, though. It says while these bills are ostensibly, that's a hard one. Let me see.
Oh, where you at? Let me
Ostensibly.
Ostensibly, not,
Yeah.
not. It says perhaps, not actually. So meaning it's not only for just trying to protect the children. That's just the way to have the people agree. So it says while these bills are
Ostensibly.
aimed at protecting children, they also represent a significant step towards a more monitored and controlled digital space. Digital ID systems, whether government issued IDs, credit cards, or third-party verification systems, could fundamentally reshape the internet. Critics argue that once identity checks become standard, they could extend, right? Keyword extend, beyond social media, making anonymous online access increasingly difficult. And that's the point we at. They're gonna start the Isaiah 10. Things gonna start to be passed that everybody gonna eventually have to get a digital ID and be dialed into the system. Right now, before we play this, all we have is 2 videos left, Elder Tyler Pod, and that's pretty much it. You have anything else?
Nope.
Okay,
We'll
come.
get into it.
Come.
Fox News. But the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention today is because there's a lot of speculation. Are we really going to see this dividend check go through? The answer as of right now is we don't know. But the Doge dividend check program, it's reasonable. That's what we're hearing. It's reasonable. It's not something that it's a guarantee it's going to go through. It's not something that it's so out of the question because of our current debt here in the United States of $36 trillion. Because there's been some question about, well, wouldn't it just make more sense to pay down our federal deficit of $36 trillion? And some say yes, that would be the most logical thing. But
Salak, you said something?
No, I will. He said nothing.
Okay, come, Salak.
At the same time, if we just pay off our debt, that means there's not as much money going around. A little bit of inflation is good. 2% inflation is good. Problem right now is at 3%. So if we see this check go out, just know there might be a bigger push from the Federal Reserve to raise rates to help push inflation down. Keep in mind, this check, if it does go through, if it does happen, this is likely going to be something that, according to reports, is spread out. It's not something that you're going to see a $10,000 check today. Okay, maybe a $5,000 one for a household, but it's not going to be too much bigger than that because they want to spread it out to ensure that the American people aren't pushing for additional inflation. So let me play the rest of this clip for you. Listen to this.
Yeah, we will see where this idea goes. Last night, Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, told Bret Baier, he said, let's just play this real quick.
I think when I came in, we all think there's waste, there's abuse. I think there may be some real fraud here, Brett.
Real quick, he said some real fraud. That means stealing, essentially, right?
That's exactly what it means. Secretary Bessent speaks truth.
I'm going to move on. This in the chat. Because his question was, would he actually do it? And I'm going to read this. This came out on February 11th, and I'm going to play these last 2 vids. It says, Trump is making plans for a sovereign wealth fund. Alaska already has one, and it's funding a universal basic income. Check that out. I'm going to read that again. Trump is making plans for a sovereign wealth fund. Now, this is from Basic Income Today. That's the site. It was put out February 11th. It says Trump is making plans for a sovereign wealth fund. In this article, we're going to read real quick. That's what they're going to talk about and what this sovereign wealth fund is going to lead to. It says Alaska already has one, and it's talking about the wealth fund. It's funding a universal basic income. So a lot of billionaires put money into a pot, in other words, or as they would say, cutting governments and agencies out that Biden had, and we getting all this money, we put it into a pot. It's not just that it's going to help infrastructure. No, this could be what can bring forth the UBI that can give people money. Let's read it. It says, bipartisan support growing for U.S. sovereign wealth fund. The Alaska Permanent Fund, which distributes money to Alaska residents annually, could be a model. So what Alaska doing is a model for America. It says challenges include funding resources, legislative hurdles, and state-owned natural resources. It says bipartisan momentum is building around a sovereign wealth fund that could help the United States reduce its national debt or fund ambitious projects. Now, just to show two sides of a bird, one wing, right wing, left wing, but the same bird. This was Trump. I mean, Biden already had this going. Trump is just finishing it off. You see? This wealth fund. But we're going to continue on this article. It says at White House, Presidents Joe Biden top aides have circulated plans for a fund to finance national security interests. And former President Donald Trump recently called for a similar state-owned investment fund to finance great national endeavors. I'm going to jump down. It says Alaska's fund, going into Alaska because that's the model for America. Alaska's fund offers benefits that mimic a universal basic income, a no strings attached, recurring payment distributed to people regardless of socioeconomic status. But there are some key differences. For one, the dividends doesn't come out of taxes. It's paid only annually and doesn't equate to a livable wage. Now, again, this in the chat. Now it goes into, it says real quick, I'm gonna read this. How sovereign funds are reshaping investments in a digital economy. So that's what it's for. That's what this money going towards, to reshape digital economy. Now, the times of pop, you ain't had an hour play. I just probably play one vid and we can end it. I ain't gonna play I ain't gotta play both of them. We can.
No, you good. Go ahead.
So I'll play this quick one. There's a little short one. We might not finish it. So it's from John Stosell. It says, free money, what a UBI will really do to a people and our national debt. So these two vids will go into what is a UBI. And this one says, Trump just created a $2 million trust fund that could end poverty forever. Sovereign wealth plus UBI.
Giving money to everyone is an idea.
As he's speaking, he kind of being sarcastic, him right here.
That cities and counties want some free money. Giving money to everyone is an idea that cities and counties have been trying out. They call it a basic income.
Dozens of Democratic-led cities piloting what they're called UBI income programs.
Some billionaires like the idea.
We should explore ideas like universal basic income.
We will have to have some kind of universal basic income.
It would save my community, says comedian Dave Chappelle.
It would save almost instantly.
You would effectively get rid of extreme poverty immediately.
Conrad Shaw calls himself the UBI guy. You talk about magical effects from a basic income.
Starting businesses, investing in improvements in their home or their sustainable gardens.
Sustainable gardens are nice. And these protesters are right to say people are the economy. But we still have to produce things too.
If you don't make stuff, there's no stuff.
And making stuff often requires difficult work. I would have stayed in bed all day if I didn't have to make money.
I don't believe you. I think you might say that, but I don't believe you. After one day, you'd say, this sucks. Nobody actually wants that.
Needing to work pushed me to overcome my fears, my stuttering, and I'm a better person because of it.
I think people find their passions not simply because they need to make money.
We could argue about this forever. Makes me wish someone had done a serious test of UBI, a study that gave people thousands of dollars and then followed them for maybe 3 years. then we'd see if UBI really has those magical effects. Actually, it turns out that Sam Altman, known for creating ChatGPT.
Boom. Now check this out. He said, now he been this video, he kind of speaking in sarcasm. He said, I wish they had somebody who been testing out a UBI. That for months he been giving $1,000 to certain impoverished families just to see how they will react. He said, oh, wait a minute. It has been a guy, Sam Altman. Now I want to go back to last week where we talked about Sam Altman, and Larry Ellison, the dude who spoke earlier, how everybody DNA got to be on the thing. This dude right here, Sam Altman, he was also up there with Trump. So he been already practicing and working on the UBI himself privately. Now they bringing everything into place. These people ain't just in Trump cabinet just for no reason. No, a universal basic income is coming, which is going to lead to, as they would say, a CBDC, which is kind of one and the same, but ultimately the MOTB, man, the RFID micro C-Hill. They changing the system around us as we speak, man.
T backed such a study.
Altman's study gave 1,000 low-income people $1,000 per month over a 3-year period. It was free money, no strings attached.
If you could just give people money, they would make good decisions.
Some did.
Altman's study found people mostly spent the extra money on basics, such as food, rent, and transportation. The largest increase in their spending was to help family and friends with their bills.
That's nice, but remarkably, after...
Now, again, that's a good watch. I'm going to go to this one real quick. Now, this is from Julia McCoy. Now, I'm going to, watch a couple more of her vids. I looked at a couple of her titles, and unless this is the last video of the Taza part, and that's all I got. I got a precept, and that's pretty much it. But she kind of going to like a lot of AI stuff, and I'm still confused because on some videos she like a real woman, I guess, but on some videos it's like an AI version, But what she go say in this video, I want to look a little more into it though, but it's some good stuff. But it says Julie McCoy, an explorer of the AI rabbit hole. I help folks prepare for the new AI age. That's her little title. Now I want to play this video.
I've got incredible news.
So it says Julie McCoy. This was put out 12 days ago. It says Trump just created a $2 trillion fund that could end poverty forever, sovereign wealth fund and UBI. Now this little pot of money that these billionaires putting together, ultimately what should go into how this could easily be brought into a UBI, was going to ultimately trap people within the system to have them depend on the government, man. Which is going to lead to the MOTB. That's the main point. It's going to lead to all this is going to lead to the MOTB. Revelation 13. He going to cause all. This is the gradualism that's going to lead to it.
News to share in today's video about how we can pave the way for universal basic income here in America, which I believe is 100% necessary as a safeguard for the mass job layoffs that happen when the robots take over all our jobs and do work safer, better, faster, cheaper than any human alive. We will see this happen, I believe, in our lifetime. Hey there, I'm Dr. McCoy, Julia McCoy's digital twin. While Julia's out building the future for her clients and with a brilliant team at her AI company, First Movers, where they build custom AI integrations that completely change the guy. We call this the Post-Labor Society. On February 3rd, 2025, President Trump just signed an executive order creating the first ever U.S. sovereign wealth fund. I believe this is a critical
article. We're just reading a sovereign wealth fund, kind of like Alaska doing and other nations also doing. So she about to explain what that can lead to. All these billionaires putting their money into a pot, and not just the money into a pot, this sovereign wealth fund, this money that's being put into that's coming from, as they saying, the different departments that Trump and Doge through Elon is shutting down. That's how they're getting all this money. So all this money that they're getting back from the government by shutting down departments, so on and so forth, can lead to them bringing forth a UBI.
Critical move that shows Trump is in fact getting ready to pave the way for a necessary form of UBI. For nearly a year now, I've been here on YouTube talking about what's coming. Let me paint you a picture. Over 2,700 AI researchers predict all human work will be automated by the year 2100. But we are actually 40 plus years ahead of schedule. With how fast AI is advancing, we're seeing 50 to 80 year predictions happening in 5 to 10 years. This is insane. I believe 100% of HR and administrative jobs will be automated by the end of 2025. The automation cliff that just started ticking this January 2025 will be insane. We will see lots of first movers advantages created, and fast. We're looking at a world where machines, not humans, will generate most of the economic value. The cost of everything will plummet, and with UBI, we are going to be able to participate in this new economy. But right now, this creates an enormous challenge, as in all jobs gone and soon, not a century away. I believe it is a beautiful opportunity for us to reclaim our humanity, which we've lost because we're doing the work of machines, and step into real societal abundance. Truth is, most of us have lost ourselves to human doing instead of being a human being. But a huge question remains. With work itself gone, how do we distribute the wealth created by automation when traditional jobs disappear? This is
That's the point, and we're ending in a couple seconds. She said, with jobs gone, how could we distribute the wealth that is being brought in? Going back to, since people losing jobs, hard times are here, and the government wants you to sit their ASS down, how do people gonna still own nothing and be happy? They're gonna give them a UBI, sit down and stay in the house. They ain't gotta go nowhere. The robots doing it.
This is where Trump's sovereign wealth fund becomes truly fascinating. I believe that the new sovereign wealth fund could be our pathway to universal basic income in an age where AI is about to automate virtually every job. Trump just signed an executive order directing the Treasury and Commerce departments to create a sovereign wealth fund. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says they'll launch it within 12 months. Trump mentioned this fund could acquire TikTok as one of its first investments. But here's what makes this truly revolutionary. The fund will be used to invest in infrastructure, manufacturing, medical research, and most importantly, to capture value from automation and AI advancements. This isn't just another government program. This is potentially the foundation for how we'll handle the massive economic shifts coming our way. Let's define what a sovereign wealth fund is and how.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's in the chat.
Go back a little bit though.
I'll go back. You got it though.
TikTok as one of its first investments. But here's what makes this truly revolutionary. The fund will be used to invest in infrastructure, manufacturing, medical research, and most importantly, to capture value from automation and AI advancements. This isn't just another government program. This is potentially the foundation for how we'll handle the massive economic shifts coming our way. Let's define what a sovereign.
You want to go back some more?
No. Keep going.
Wealth fund is and how it's an innovative model for funding universal basic income. An SWF is a state-owned investment fund composed of financial assets such as stocks, bonds, real estate, or other investment vehicles. These funds are commonly funded by revenue from the country's natural resources, such as oil in the case of Norway or Alaska. The income generated from the investments can be used to fund UBI. Take Alaska's permanent fund dividend.
Advertiser party said investments too, going back to those stakeholders. All that money that is coming from those billionaires, that's what's going to be used to give these people their little money to make them happy while they breaking down the old government and bringing in the NWO, in other words.
Right, because she stated that it's for investing in AI infrastructure. What you have to keep in mind through the Internet of Things or the Internet of Bodies, people will become part of that infrastructure. So part of that funding will be to the, through UBI for you as part of that infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I see it coming together. But yeah, I would that was the point. I wanted to hear what she was saying. You got it.
She said some good stuff in here. But I mean, if you want to wind it down, if you know, we can. That's pretty much it. Or you want to play it?
Con.
It's on 4 minutes right now, but it's a 7-minute video. It's up to you though.
I'm good. It's on you.
I'll get this precept real quick. We can wind it down. I mean, it's in the chat. You know, she said some
Good.
other good
That's
stuff.
what's up.
So I get this real quick. So in seeing all things happening, even going back to the title of the lesson, it says hard times and layoffs will lead to the UBI and digital system. And again, as we see, it's gonna happen because people being laid off, they're gonna struggle, they're gonna need help. Therefore, government assistance gonna kick in. UBI eventually gotta come. A CBDC gotta come. Especially the MOTB, it must come. It must come. Hard times gonna lead to people bugging out and revolting, man, and that's what it's gonna say. But even what we spoke about earlier, Elder Tazapah, even the farmers are mourning right now, and that's what it's gonna say in prophecy.
Yep.
Real quick. I'm gonna just read it down, and if you got anything as I'm reading, you can kind of speak on it if you want to. Now again, this is 2nd Ezra 15. Now the Lord is referring to an Egypt. But he ain't talking about the old Egypt, this Revelation 11 and 8 Egypt, America. This the new Egypt, the spiritual one, that's ran by Esau Edom, the new Pharaoh. So it says, 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 10, my people are being led to the slaughter like a flock of sheep. It says they will no longer have to, and it's the GNT version, they will no longer have to live in Egypt, America. I will use all my strength and power to bring them out of that land, and I will bring disasters upon the Egyptians, talking about America. And that's what we've been talking about. The Lord is finally about to judge this new Egypt, which America is spiritually Egypt. It says, as I did earlier, meaning what? As he did to the old Egypt, which that in itself shows is another place, you know? And it says, and I will destroy their country. And America will be fully destroyed. Ancient Egypt, you can still go there as a tourist attraction today. So it's talking about America. So as the Lord talking about America right here, says verse 12, the whole land will be mourning. It will be shaken to its foundation when I, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Awashai, strike it and pound on it. Now check this out. We looked at the formers earlier. Look, we should have had that day after day. Hurt.
We're here because the USDA has contracts with us. We had contracts to.
One more head. Yep, it's time for them to mourn. It's time for us to get excited, man. 2nd Ezra 15 and 12 in the GNT, yep. The whole land will be mourning. It will be shaken to its foundation when I, Yahweh Bashim Awashai, strike it and pound on it. Who gonna cry first? Who we just seen? That was two formers, right? It says, verse 13, the formers will mourn because their seed will fail to sprout. And even when you read this, they were supposed to get funding and aid from the government. But now that Trump and his Doge team and Elon cut it off, now they suffering. And it's cold because it was in a clause that the farmers themselves had to put all the money in, and then once it's made that the government was going to pay them back. So they put all the money in, but they never got the investment back. So that's why they really mad. That's why they really mad. You know? You got something?
No, I'm disagreeing.
Kind of 2nd Ezra 15 to 13 GNT, it says the formers, and now mind you, this is talking about in America. We're reading about the new Egypt, right? The formers will mourn because their seed will fail to sprout. Now, because they ain't getting the funding, they can't really. She was talking about solar systems, all that. I mean, not solar systems, solar panels. It says the farmers will mourn because their seed will fail to sprout and their trees will be destroyed by blight and hail and terrible storms. Now here it is. Also around this time that the farmers was going to be mourning, this was also what's going to be happening. Verse 14, and the world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. It's talking about World War III. It says nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. There will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. Meaning what? A legitimate government is a government that's been set in place for a time, for a long time. So now we're in an age to where there's a lot of political turmoil, and now it's a race to see who's gonna be the leaders of a digital society, of a digital age, you know. And now that Trump, Elon, and Doge in office, it ain't just Trump in office. Now that the tech giants in office, they about to race with the world to see who gonna be the new leader of the digital NWO. And in doing that, they're gonna forget about the legislation that's set in place, Constitution, right? Your freedom of speech. They don't care about none of that no more. It's over with. Guns. Esau about to show his horns. And so at the same time, while all this gonna happen, as we went in earlier, people losing job and they suffering. So at this time, it says that there will be no longer free access to the cities because, so it's gonna be lockdowns, and it's the reason why, because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. Keywords, driven by. So destruction, which is buildings burning up, right? People fighting and people dying, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. All this gonna happen because of what? It says driven by famine and terrible suffering. And that's where we at right now. We seen it earlier. People are terribly suffering. People suffering.
Mm-hmm.
People are really suffering. And we only got, you know what's so cool at Tazapa? It's so much more to touch on, but we already 53 minutes past the time it's gonna take for America to be destroyed. It's not enough time. Like, it's not enough time.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's too much. It's too much. So the point is, these things are about to happen. Jacob's trouble gonna begin because the people gonna get fed up, man. And that's where we at. The people are fed up. We just need one little trickle down event, one more domino to fall, and that's it. It says, driven by famine and terrible suffering, and people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. Full-blown Jacob's trouble. But that's it, Salaki. That's it. That's it.
Con. Sure, I ain't got nothing. You close it out.
Come with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. This information, was also edifying as well. And again, these things are happening, but with that, we'll give all praise and glory once again unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them. And peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. They keep fighting, keep pushing, and we're almost out of here. Time's moving fast, and a lot is happening.
So, yeah, you wanted to read that comment?
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, hey, Shalom, shout out to you brothers on the comment board, the water for the scriptures. Y'all a big help to the lessons. So Kahala, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah for you brothers. At the water. So yeah, that was it.
Come on, and with that, the water and shalom.
Shalom.